Watch this story carefully, because inside this story, there might be a lesson that could change the way you think about your own life. Don't just listen to it. Think about it. And if something in this story speaks to you, try to apply it in your own life. Because sometimes a simple story can teach us more about success than years of advice. So listen carefully. Once upon a time, in a small quiet village, surrounded by farms and dusty roads, there lived a boy named Ethan. Life in that village was simple. People woke up early, worked long hours in the fields, and returned home before sunset. Most people believed one thing: life will always stay the same. Very few people talked about dreams. Even fewer believed in them. But Ethan was different. From a young age, he had a habit that many people found strange. He liked to imagine the future. Sometimes he would sit on a small hill near his village and watch the sunset. While others saw a normal sunset, Ethan saw possibility. He imagined a life bigger than the village, a life where he could help his parents, a life where he could build something meaningful. But dreaming is easy. Reality is much harder. One evening while working in the fields, Ethan asked his father something. "Do you think someone from this village can become successful?" His father looked at him for a moment and said something simple. "Where you start in life does not decide where you finish." Those words stayed in Ethan's mind. And that day he learned his first lesson. Your environment does not define your future. One day Ethan found an old book in the village library. The book talked about successful people and how they built their lives. But one chapter caught Ethan's attention. It talked about something called visualization. The book said something powerful. Everything that exists today was once imagined in someone's mind. Buildings, businesses, technology, all of it started as an idea. That night, Ethan tried something new. Before going to sleep, he closed his eyes and imagined his future. He imagined success. He imagined building something meaningful. He imagined helping his family live a better life. He started doing this every night. And slowly his dreams became clearer. But Ethan realized something important. Dreaming alone would never change his life. Dreams require action. So he made a decision, a simple one. He would wake up 1 hour earlier every day. During that hour, he would learn something new. He read books. He studied ideas. He learned about business. While others slept, Ethan was building his future. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. And slowly something powerful began growing inside him. Discipline. When Ethan turned 18, he left the village and moved to the city. The city was overwhelming. Tall buildings, crowded streets, endless opportunities. But Ethan had almost no money. He worked small jobs, cleaning, carrying boxes, working in shops. The work was exhausting, but he never stopped learning. Every night he studied. Every morning he woke up early. Discipline became his lifestyle. After years of saving money, Ethan finally started his first small business. He believed in his idea. He invested everything he had, but the business failed. Within months, he lost almost all his savings. For the first time, Ethan felt doubt. Maybe everyone in the village was right. Maybe success was not meant for him. But then he remembered something. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. So instead of quitting, Ethan studied his mistakes. He learned what went wrong, and he tried again. This time, Ethan was wiser, more disciplined, more prepared. He worked harder than ever. He studied markets. He improved his ideas. Slowly, the business started growing. Customers increased, income improved, opportunities appeared. But the journey was still difficult. There were days when nothing seemed to work, days when he felt exhausted, days when quitting seemed easier. But Ethan kept going, because discipline means continuing, even when things are difficult. Years passed. One of Ethan's ideas suddenly gained attention. His company began growing rapidly. More customers arrived, Investors became interested. The business expanded. More employees joined. More opportunities appeared. And one day, Ethan looked at the numbers and realized something incredible. The boy who once worked in dusty village fields had built a multi-million-dollar company. Years later, Ethan returned to his village. Everything looked the same dusty roads, the same quiet evenings. But Ethan had changed. He walked to the hill where he once watched sunsets as a young boy. And he remembered the dreams he once imagined. The dreams that once seemed impossible. Now they were reality. People often asked Ethan the same question. What is the secret of your success? And Ethan always gave the same answer. 3 things: discipline, hard work, and vision. Because if you can see your future clearly in your mind, and you work every day toward that vision, reality eventually catches up with your imagination. So if you remember only one thing from this story, remember this: success is not built in one day. It is built through thousands of small actions, small habits, small improvements, day after day, month after month, year after year. Start small, stay disciplined, keep moving forward, because one day, the life you imagine today can become the life you live tomorrow.